Okay, we're live.
All right, we should be live. Let me hit record.
All right, Derek, and I'll let you take it all away, okay?
All right, you guys are good.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad that you guys are tuning in to our fifth class and so, for our communications tips and tricks. Today we have a very special guest with us. He is from the St. Louis area. His name is Dakota Steffens, and he's going to be presenting to us today. We are so happy to have him, and we are hoping that today, so we can give you guys tips on how to be fearless and stuff, when giving speeches. And so hopefully we can help you out today and stuff, and if you're not listening today, please chime in anytime, and let us know exactly what you have overcome and stuff, with speeches and how giving presentations has been for you. Anyways, I also want to introduce my coworker and current and fellow staff member from the Cape Girardeau office. Her name is Mary Niswonger, and I'll let her take it away.
Thank you, Derek. Great job. And thanks, Dakota, for joining us. We're excited to hear from you in a little bit. Everyone, if you're watching live or if you're watching at a later time, welcome. Thank you so much for being with us. I think Derek did a great job of overviewing what we're going to go through today. We're going to start with a little bit of a refresher in case you've missed the last few weeks, or just in case you need a good refresher like I always do. Overcoming fears is really for everyone. Derek and I have talked about this a lot. Even if you are an expert public speaker, usually there is some little bit of nervous energy there. And we're going to talk about, even if you feel pretty confident, ways that you can use just that little bit of energy to help even further as well. So we are going to get started here.
Okay, this first slide is just basically an overview of from our first lesson. It is basically what is the definition of communications? Well, communications is basically the act of giving, receiving, and sharing of information.
Mm-hmm. We like to keep putting that up there because it really is that simple. Communication sometimes can be a scary word for people, but it really is that simple. We do it every day, all day long, giving, receiving, and sharing information. I wanted to go back to one of our first lessons and kind of remind ourselves what makes a good communicator. And Dakota, or anyone, if you're watching on Facebook, please leave a comment on what you think makes a good communicator. But Derek, do you want to just quickly go through this list for us?
Sure. What makes a good communicator? Well, being positive, being a good listener, knowing your audience, good eye contact, volume or your voice level, professionalism, and being knowledgeable of what you're communicating about. Be confident with yourself.
Perfect. And a lot of that list, and especially that last one, goes right into overcoming fears. If you feel confident and you're knowledgeable about what you're talking about, your nervous energy is going to go down by so much. And I love that being positive was the first one because I don't know really a more positive person than Dakota Steffens. So I'm excited that he's on with us because very true.
Thank you.
Having a good attitude can change a lot of things.
Absolutely.
So overcoming the fear of public speaking, what can we do? A lot of people think that it's out of our control, that it's something we just have to be fearful of and not then never overcome. But really, truthfully, there's a lot we can do, and that's what we're going to focus on today.
Well, what can we do? Well, number one rule, and something that me and Mary have talked about this really, really vigorously, is practice, practice, practice. That is something that you have to be able to do in order to overcome any kind of fearful. But you can't just go to it once and say, "Okay, I got it," and stuff, and then try to do it again in a presentation and then freeze. It's just You know, you really got to practice hard. Choose a topic that you're passionate about. Tell your story. Share your story about how special Olympics has changed your life. Um, Calm down and slow down, and being able to breathe in between sentences is something that I even have to work on because I have a problem with that too. Not being able to take my time and breathing slowly and being able to get my voice be clear.
Mhm. And we talked about even like if you're someone that likes to have your speech or your presentation on notes, giving yourself some type of little reminder to even take a breath. It sounds so simple because we involuntarily breathe all the time. But sometimes when we're speaking, we really need to remind ourselves, and that will help us slow down. So maybe it's putting a star in your speech notes or some type of little mark that's going to remind you to take a breath. You might think that that pause is strange for the audience. It's not. If anything, it makes you calm down, it makes them comfortable, and it allows everyone to relax and just enjoy your speech. We talked about meeting with the people who you're going to speak with. Derek came up with this one, and I love that because maybe you can't meet them ahead of time if it's a big audience or it's a panel or something, but maybe you can research who they are and get to know them so that you feel more comfortable with who you're communicating with. That kind of all goes back to knowing your target audience that we talked about 2 weeks ago. Really knowing who you're speaking with, that will make you feel more confident going into it, and then you can tailor your message to fit them better.
Exactly, and then that runs straight into feel like you're in your comfort zone. Like meeting people and stuff like that. After a while, of talking to them, you get comfortable with them. So that really makes it easier for you to be able to speak or give presentations to because you're knowledgeable, you know them, and everything's cool. You're not freaking out or anything. So that's great and stuff. And then also stay positive. Believe in yourself is a big one that you gotta believe that you can do it and believe that that your message is gonna get out, your message is gonna be heard, and you're gonna feel extremely good about yourself.
Can I add?
Yeah.
Own the stage. Feel like you're the only one up there, own the stage. You got this.
Absolutely. That I think that's what Derek, when he came up with that feel like you're in your comfort zone. I think it's even like making up your mind that, okay, I can do this. This is it. This is where I'm comfortable. I can do this.
Yeah.
And owning the stage. That's perfect. Very good. That's awesome. And keep interacting with others. Get comfortable. I feel like we've kind of said this a couple times, but we can't stress it enough. The more you are out and about talking to people, sharing your story, the more comfortable you are going to feel doing so. So take every advantage. And I know it sounds funny to say that right now while we're all stuck inside our homes in quarantine, but still communicating through social media, doing these Somo at home programs, anything that we can do, especially at this time, to stay connected to people is very, very important.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And then also, knowing your material is a big one. Do your research on what you're presenting, and then being able to say, okay, I got this. I understand this, and so I think I can explain it in the presentation. We do this a lot and stuff with our GM2 classes. We go through PowerPoints all the time and stuff, to make sure we got our information right and that we are doing it very well. And then have someone video you, and then being able to criticize yourself, being able to see it back on video and stuff, see your presentation and to see like, okay, this is where I did well at and something, this is where I still need a little bit of work. But you can see yourself and something and be able to say, oh, okay, yes, this will work. I can change that. Um, that goes
Okay,
into,
so sometimes we notice things that we've never noticed before. Maybe I know I talk a lot with my hands, obviously, and until I really see that, I don't realize how often I do it. Or maybe it's that you say a lot, or there's some word that you say often. It's really important to sometimes watch yourself, video, on video or whatever you can do to be able to really critique yourself. That is a great one.
Critique yourself is how you learn.
Absolutely.
Become a better speaker.
Absolutely. And
Some
we
people
talked
even-
about, yeah, go ahead, Derek.
some people even have to meditate before they give a speech. Kind of shut their eyes a little bit, kind of do some breathing again, in and out and stuff, and close your eyes. Okay, it's cool and stuff. I can do this. Big one. And then like I have a problem with this one, and that's to concentrate on slowing down. That is something that I have not mastered, even though I teach this class. I still have a problem with slowing down.
Me too.
So, I mean, and
And-
I'm sure a lot of people do.
I read something interesting the other day, and you'd think that being nervous is what makes you talk so fast, but actually, some of us are just fast talkers. And then the faster we talk, the less we're breathing. So the more nervous we get. So our nervousness is actually coming from talking too fast. Not the opposite way. And it's interesting to think that way because the less you're breathing, the faster you're talking, you start to feel a little panicked. Have you ever not been breathing enough and your fingers feel tingly or you feel really nervous? So it's really important to, again, put those things in your speech, little reminders, symbols, or just be thinking about it beforehand. Meditating is a good way to really get in the zone and calm down. But really concentrating on taking it slow. You're not going to look silly to the audience. You're just going to be easier to understand.
Totally agree.
Right on. And and also lightly exercise before a presentation. I haven't really done exercising before a presentation, so I mean, I think Mary might be able to elaborate a little bit more on what exercise you can do in order to be prepared.
Yeah, so I know it sounds silly and you think, why would I want to get all gross and sweaty before I'm giving a presentation? Doesn't mean you should go out and run a marathon before your presentation. But there has been a lot of research that if you get your heart rate up a little bit and then allow it to calm down right before giving a presentation, it actually kind of pumps you up for your speech and gives you really positive energy, makes you feel good, it has those good endorphins in you. So it works in your favor. So whatever works for you, maybe it's just quickly jogging in place a little bit, doing some jumping jacks, something that's not too intense, but that can kind of get your heart rate going and then allow yourself to rest right before you give your presentation. It might just pump you up just enough.
Right. And the next one is like we're doing today. Use supporting materials, like using PowerPoints, using videos to be able to give your presentations. That is a big factor that shows people, hey, you've done your research, you've been able to do this, you can do this, you can do that. And it's amazing to see how people can put those things together and being able to be so successful at what they do because of the work that they put into it and stuff, to be able to get the outcome that they want.
And it can kind of keep you on track a little bit instead of just going off and talking about something else random. If you have a PowerPoint or supporting materials, props that you're working with, it can kind of give you cues on what's next instead of just going off and talking for a really long time.
Right.
What's that last one? I don't think I know what that is.
Practice.
What was it?
Practice.
Get
Practice. Perfect.
Yes, even the best professionals in everything in our world practice all the time. Absolutely. Kind of goes with this next one.
Right. Present in front of the mirror. And so, give your presentation so you can see yourself as you're presenting to say, oh, okay, I can see myself. Am I doing this right? Are my facial expressions right? Am I calming down? Am I slowing down my words? Am I able to understand myself?
Mhm. Yes, can't do that enough. And
Right.
getting
And
organized, I think it's so important if you depend on notes for your speech. Like it's great if you can do things by memory, but there's nothing wrong with having notes or cues, note cards with bullet points, whatever works best for you. And the only way you can know what works best is practicing and trying it out. But really being organized in your notes, making sure that you can clearly read them, make sure that they are in order. Maybe it's putting a ring in some note cards so they stay in the correct order or numbering them. I think it just always makes you feel better if you are confident that everything's in order, it's not something that you have to stress out while you're in the moment giving a speech. And it kind of goes along with that, adding smiley faces to your notes. I'm big on this. I always stress this in our global messenger classes. But a lot of people get so in the zone giving their speech that they forget to smile. And if you smile, it helps you relax, it helps the audience relax, and just makes your presentation really nice, makes it a much more positive tone and feel to it. So adding smiley faces really to remind you of those important parts that you want to smile might just trigger some feelings that then, I don't know, you can just smile at ease and go on with your presentation.
right. And be proud of yourself that you have been able to have the courage to stand up in front of people for presentations. I think that, Dakota is a big, big example of that. He has done some really amazing things, and you're going to hear an amazing story from him here in a little bit. And so let me tell you, I taught him a couple years, last year, I think it was. He was in my global message group class last March, and he absolutely rocked it. And so, so I think he's going to be awesome. And so he should be very proud of himself for being able to do what he does. And he gives awesome presentations to lots of different people. And
Yes, we're
what's
just
the
a little
last one,
proud.
Mary?
Just a little proud. Okay, and what's that last one?
I well, we can't stress it enough. You really got to practice and practice and practice your speeches. Practice your presentations. It doesn't have to be a speech. It can be a presentation on anything. But you need to practice. Otherwise, you're going to go in there and you could really be a bomb or something. So you really want to practice hard, make it successful, and so that you can be heard.
Yes, absolutely. Did we mention that it's important to practice? Again, we know we cannot stress that enough, but we also know that it just makes you feel so much more confident when you're in the moment having to give a presentation of any type. I remember my high school principal, he had a kind of a coined phrase, and he said, proper practice prevents poor performance. It's a lot of P's, but it really is true. The more you practice, the more you prepare, the better you're going to do. It's just kind of part of it. You're going to feel more confident, comfortable, and so is your audience.
Yeah.
This is a big one that we always do, and Dakota, you do this all day long and stuff, and it is believe in yourself. Know that you can do this, and so believing that okay, hey, I got this, I can do this, I can overcome this, and so and it's going to be awesome. So I mean, you just got to really believe in yourself that you're going to be a very successful person if you believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think that's why, Derek, you already said it, but why, Dakota, why we think you're such a great communicator is because we do think you're a super positive person. You believe in yourself, and that shines through. So that's why we wanted to hear from you today. We thought it'd be really great for our audience to hear from one of our experts. Dakota has put together a speech following the different parts of his speech that we've been going over the last few weeks. And so we're going to let him deliver his speech, and then we can kind of go through it and talk about it. And if anyone has any questions, I'm sure that he'd be happy to answer.
All right, Dakota Stephens, take it away, my friend.
I think Dakota might be having an issue with his internet. He's frozen just a little bit. Dakota, can you hear us okay? Dakota, I think you're frozen on our end. Can you hear us?
I think we might have lost him.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
Okay. I couldn't hear someone.
Hi, my name is Dakota Stephan, and I am a Special Olympics athlete. I'm doing, oh,
Hey, Dakota.
Mm.
Dakota, can you hear me?
yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I think your internet
can
might
hear you.
be, I think your
I can
internet
hear
might be a
you.
little, oh, I think your internet might be a little spotty. So you're cutting out just a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
going to send you,
I can hear,
I'm going to send you my phone number, and would you
Yeah.
want to call it and
I
you
can hear you.
Okay, okay. I think he can get it now. Can you
I
hear
hear
us? Okay?
you.
Have him call the phone number, guys.
Yeah.
Not your phone number, Mary, but the phone number for
Yeah.
the actual,
Yes,
the room.
yes.
Yeah.
Dakota, I'm going to send you a phone number to actually call into the meeting. Sorry, everyone, just bear with us for a few moments.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, buddy.
Is it on Messenger? Can you hear me?
We can
Yeah,
hear
we
you okay right
All
now.
right.
Go ahead
Hi,
and
my name is
try
Dakota
it now,
Stephan,
Dakota,
and
because
Okay. And I'm a Special Olympics athlete. I've been doing Special Olympics for about 7 years now. Special Olympics has created some of the best times with my favorite people, from competing with other athletes at competitions or participating in athlete leadership program. To say that I've enjoyed every minute of Special Olympics would be an understatement. My favorite part of Special Olympics is the respect that the athletes have for one another. We are always cheering for each other, whether it be competitions or just in life. It's really a great thing to see everyone is so friendly with each other. We lift each other up regardless of how we did in our sport. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, we are family, first and foremost, and this is why Special Olympic athletes are some of the greatest people in the world, and why I believe we will continue to change the world. But in order for Special Olympics athletes to keep changing the world, we need your help. So I'm asking you to get involved in Special Olympics in any way, whether it be volunteering at a local competition, being a buddy to one of the athletes. You will be glad you did and walk away feeling inspired by the athlete. I know I have for the past 7 years. Thank you for your time. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Way to go, Dakota.
Did you hear me? Did you hear
We
me?
did, yes.
Oh, okay.
And hey, thank you for rolling with the punches there. That shows good communication skills. And
I
even though
apologize.
no,
I
thank
didn't know
you.
my internet connection was down.
That's okay. No, we can hear you just fine. And thank you, because even though we couldn't see you, you were so positive and spoke so clearly, we could clearly understand you. So thank you for that.
I was a little nervous, sorry.
No, you did great. Derek, or I don't know if there's anyone on Facebook right now, but did anyone pick out does anyone have anything to say, get some constructive feedback, or does anyone want to share the different types of the speech, or sorry, different parts of the speech that Dakota addressed in his Stand and
Anything
Deliver?
would be helpful. Anything would be helpful.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you have any constructive feedback for him?
You know, I'll say, again, Dakota, we could clearly understand you so easily, and your positivity shines through. The one thing I want more of is a personal story from you, because I've heard them before, and you have so many great ones. You had your catch line in there. You had a purpose for your speech. You had a very clear ask. You really had all the major components, except for just sharing a great story, which I know you always do. And so I would just love to hear more from you.
Thank you. Thank you.
One more thing, Dakota. Tell people about what it was like to be able to speak at the very first gold medal gala. How was that? What kind of experience was that?
Oh, that was an amazing experience. I'll never forget it. With Andy Banker being the broadcaster, it was awesome. I'll never forget it. Just the type of interaction we had with each other and with the other athletes. It was just awesome night.
So cool. Dakota, do you ever get nervous before a speech?
Oh yes, I was just not nervous now.
What helps you to calm down, or how did you overcome your fear?
Just like a reminder to breathe. A reminder to breathe and eye contact, really to slow down and pronunciate my words.
Is there anything you do like to pump yourself up right before a speech to get in the zone?
I just try to reflect my personality in my speeches.
Mm-hmm.
So just let it be, let me flow, let it flow.
So just trying to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one question for you, bud. How many people, what was the largest crowd you've ever given a speech to?
Probably near 1,000 people at the special student council convention, summer convention, MASC.
And how did that, yeah, what was the atmosphere like?
Oh, it was crazy. It was when I got done, they were all on their feet and like gave me a standing ovation. It made me feel so great because I was so nervous going into it. But whenever they stood up and applauded, woo!
That is cool. So after an experience like that, what are some techniques you do to get even better for the next time?
I really try to improve my eye contact. Because I know I struggle a lot with eye contact when I'm speaking. So if I can slow down, and I try to put little reminders in my speeches to remind myself to slow down, like just pauses, and it really helps.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, we cannot thank you enough. This is so helpful. And you probably didn't know you were going to get a question and answer session in too as well.
It's
but
fine.
We
appreciate. I enjoy interaction. I mean, I enjoy getting feedback from people. So anything that'll make me better, I'm always down for.
Awesome. Do you have any advice that you would give anyone else that's interested in communications?
If it is a struggle for you to communicate, getting involved in this class will help you tremendously with communications and just parts of a speech. If you're nervous, if you're kind of a shy individual or kind of nervous, you will not be after this class because it'll open so many doors for you just on how to communicate with people. And I can't say enough great things about it.
Well, Dakota, you were a great student. I mean, those speeches you wrote in our classes, oh my gosh, I mean, you just absolutely lit up. I mean, you had Mary in tears at one point.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yes, they're always memorable, and that's what you want. You always have a great catch line, and again, those stories that you tell are so great. Sorry to put you on the spot, but I know you are such a great communicator. If you had to think to share a story with us, like your favorite Special Olympics memory or moment, do you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, it would probably be whenever I won the 2017 Missouri Athlete of the Year for the St. Louis area. I would
Mhm.
the amount of emotion after I was qualified for that was just, I'll never forget it. I was bouncing up and down for days. I was so excited, and like it really meant a lot to me that my peers thought about me that way.
Well, you
That's
were
awesome.
definitely deserving of that award.
Thank you, thank you.
Very cool. We can't wait to see what you do next, where you speak next, and we hope that you'll be graduating from Alps soon. You've worked really hard, and is there anything you want to share? This is one of our SOMO at Home programs, so there might be athletes that listen later that have never attended an athlete leadership programs university. Is there anything you want to share about your experience?
Yeah, it was just it's a great, like I said, just a great learning experience. And if you want to get better at communicating, this is a first step and it can open so many great doors for you if you struggle, like I said earlier, just communicating and just anything. If you take this class, like I said, it'll just promote good self advocacy for every part of your life. You will learn how to advocate for yourself. Maybe you don't feel like before, maybe you don't feel like you know how to self advocate for yourself properly, but this class will show you and teach you what it means to be a healthy self advocate for yourself, and not for yourself, but just for others as well.
That is great. That's the ultimate goal. That is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
We so appreciate it. If anyone has any questions for Dakota, even if you're watching later, please leave them in the Facebook comments. I know that he's following these threads as well, and I'm sure that he'd be happy to answer, or Derek and I can loop him in. But he is a great communicator, as you've witnessed. And so if you have any questions or want some more advice from him, he's a really really great person for that. And Derek and I are always honored to help as well.
Absolutely.
I don't know if there are any questions on Facebook or not, but if anyone has anything, please leave the comments there. Dakota, do you have any questions for Derek or myself?
No, just I really enjoyed being here today, and thank you guys for having me.
Oh, thank you. We just so appreciate it.
We learned a lot from our athletes, and you did a heck of a good job. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, man. Same goes to you. I'm so proud of you.
No
Oh,
questions on Facebook. You guys are good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Derek, do you want to close us out?
Yes. All right. So please follow our Special Olympics Missouri experience for more lessons like this one at Special Olympics Missouri. Hashtag SOMO at home. You can even look this up on the web at www.somo.org/at home. You can even learn about our athlete leadership program to university from Mary or myself, or from Dakota Stebbins, as you heard, is getting ready to get ready for his final project. in order to graduate, hopefully within the next year or two. So if anyone that wants any information about ALPS, please visit www.sumo.org/ALPS. And please, if any athlete knows of anyone that would like to get involved with our Special Olympics program, athlete leadership, please let me know. You can email me. My email is up on the screen as we speak. So you can email me or Mary and something. She can get in contact with me, and we will make sure we put you guys down as for a future university, because we would love to have more students go through our program. We have had over 100 people join through our athlete leadership program at university. We would love to see more people come through and wanting to learn more about, maybe not public speaking, but maybe coaching or maybe a health class or something. I mean, there are a lot of variety of classes you can take. So if you're interested at all, please look me up, look Mary up, find us on the web, and we will definitely get back in contact with you.
All right, we'll see you all next week. Thank you so much for joining us. We have a communications lesson every Friday at 1 p.m. and we hope you can join us next week. Thank you so much.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you, Dakota.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Bye, thank you.